Hi there, it's Fran Davidson from psychicandenergywork.com.au. This is my second video for November, the start of November, with respect or that relates to the monthly observations for November 2024. This video is about the birth number for November. I might have already said to you at some stage or another, or you may have read it on the website. The birth number denotes what we're about to bump into, learn about, and also learn through or from, so as to come to channel it in a spiritual level or even egoic, by avoiding or embracing the invitation to step into the more as each second presents. The birth number therefore tells us what we're here to develop, what we're here to become, and what we're here to learn to give off to the next degree as conscious, grounded, spiritual selves. Now in November 2024, we see a birth number of 11-2 on the generic level. Every November brings 11 because it's the 11th month. But also, specifically for this year, we see 2035, which adds through 10 on its way to 1. Now, I've just talked about 10, 1, in my first video about the monthly observations, which was looking back at last month, because last month brought 3 10 ones. I apologise if there's a little bit of repetition here. In that first video, I talk about the fact that 10-1 can be a place of distinguishing and therefore choosing which level of self do you want to entertain, which level of self do you want to channel. And when I say entertain, I'm not just talking about in you, I'm talking about in the world out there. So sometimes 10-1 or even 1, but 10 in particular because it is a master number vibration. And master numbers always, shall we say, corner us more closely on the spiritual dynamic we're being asked to process or work through. 10-1 can be about drawing the line, drawing the boundary, not necessarily in a hard way, but just in a way that, you know what, that really doesn't do that for me. Because 1, in a sense, is sticking up for yourself, not necessarily in a warring stance, but 1 is, I know myself well enough, I'm comfy with myself well enough to be able to express what I really need, what I don't, what I really like, what I don't, in a way that therefore, of course, informs other people and therefore supports their selves to get the dance right as well. Because often we don't come as a group to affirmation on the individual level, let alone as a group level. We don't do that unless everybody in that group is being honest. And it always takes the first person to initiate the second, and so forth. If we're lucky, we're surrounded by people who can express themselves without fear. But many of us, from time to time, we don't do that so well. 10-1 is the place where we're being asked to back self. Know you can do it, even if you've never done it before, even if you're an absolute novice. 10-1 is that moment of, you know what? I have the smarts, I have the guidance. There are people around me, even strangers, who will help me out if all I need to do in that next moment is say, I don't know, how do I do this? So 10-1 is a place of allowing self to be all it is, and therefore supporting self, one's own as well as everybody else's, to become the self that they are here to be in that next second in a way that is fulfillment, complete, whole, 100%, the full flower blossoming. So don't be surprised if this month helps you get into that more. And that's interesting because, again, this month there's an 11-2 and there's a 2035 that leads to 1, right? So we've got 1s there, but 11-2 is be self doubly over, honest self, divine self, soul, integrity, justice, fairness. Honour these things so as to relate well in the world and to breed the right level of relationship, irrespective of what the other is responding to you with. 2035 talks about quite possibly the need for flexibility still, adaptability, forgiveness, stretching. It also talks about expression, processing. And therefore allowing flow to happen as an informing space, not just as a receiving or a doing space. Through these things, we become all the adult, all the objective, all the grounded, all the big picture that we possibly can. And through that, we help life unfold for everybody in the best possible way. So they're the birth numbers for this month, November 2024. Thanks for tuning in. I'm now going to hop over to the third video, which is all about the MOs for this month. Let me know how this one's gone and enjoy the rest from here.